Good morning. Yesterday we talked about relation between the various thermometer scales: Celsius, Fahrenheit, Kelvin and Rankine. Only one correction is there. $492. This is $672. $492. Rest everything is correct. Only make this much correction. 0 on Celsius, 32 on Fahrenheit, 273 on Kelvin, 492 on Rankine. And using this relation, you can convert temperature from any of the one scales to any of the remaining scales. This much is the only correction. And after that, let us go to the next article. Seebeck effect. Next article, Seebeck effect. The scientist Seebeck found that when two different metals are connected to form two junctions, and if these two junctions are held at different temperatures, and if a galvanometer is connected, the galvanometer shows a current. In the very first article of this chapter, we talked about various types of thermometers. One of them is thermoelectric thermometer. Thermoelectric thermometers need thermocouple. Seebeck considered a thermocouple of different metals, and he did one thing. One junction is kept at high temperature, other junction is kept at low temperature. He connected one galvanometer in the thermocouple and found that current is flowing through the thermocouple. Moreover, there is no battery, there is no cell in the thermocouple circuit. Without any battery, without any cell, the current flows through the thermocouple, which is shown by the galvanometer. Let us come to figure 1. Let us come to figure 1. In figure 1, what Seebeck did is, he took copper wire and one bismuth metallic strip. He considered copper wire and bismuth. These two together used to form a thermocouple. He connected a galvanometer in the copper wire here. This is one junction of copper and bismuth. This is other junction of copper and bismuth. When he held these two junctions at two different temperatures, one junction at cold, other junction as hot, he found that the galvanometer shows the current. How the current is flowing? The current is flowing from bismuth to copper at the hot end, and the current is flowing from copper to bismuth at the cold end. Look into figure 1. What we find in figure 1, this is a copper wire. Here a galvanometer is connected. This copper wire is connected with a bismuth metal. This is one junction of copper and bismuth. This is other junction of copper and bismuth. This junction is held at low temperature. So let me call this junction as cold junction. This junction is continuously heated with the help of burner. So let me call this junction as hot junction. When these things are done, it is found that the galvanometer connected here shows deflection. It means that current is flowing through this circuit. How the current is flowing this circuit? The current is flowing from bismuth to copper at the hot end, and the current flows from copper to bismuth at the cold end. He did the same experiment with other pair of metals. He considered copper wire here. In this copper wire, he inserted a galvanometer. This copper wire is connected with the iron wire. This is one junction of copper and iron. This is other junction of copper and iron. This junction is immersed in ice in a beaker. Seebeck immersed this junction in ice inside a beaker. So this junction will be cold junction. This junction of copper and iron is continuously heated by using a burner. So this junction will be hot junction. When this setting is done, Seebeck found that the galvanometer shows deflection. It means that the current is flowing through the galvanometer. Now in this case, how the current is flowing? The current is flowing from copper to iron at the hot end, and the current flows from iron to copper at the cold end. In this case, the current flows from copper to iron at the hot end, at the hot junction, at the hot end, whereas at the cold junction, the current flows from iron to copper. The temperature here may be continuously increased by keeping the continuous heating at this junction or this junction. When Seebeck performed experiment with this iron and copper thermocouple, he found that as temperature of the hot end is increased step by step, while the cold end is placed at 0 degree Celsius temperature, because this junction is immersed in ice inside the beaker. He found that as temperature of the hot junction of copper and iron is increased in steps, the current through the galvanometer also increases continuously. The continuous increase in current in the galvanometer is continued till temperature of hot end becomes 270 degrees Celsius. The current is continuously rising through the galvanometer as temperature of this junction is increased continuously, and this will continue till temperature of this hot junction becomes 270 degree. If this junction is further heated continuously, Seebeck found that the current starts decreasing. The current shown by the galvanometer starts decreasing. As the current starts decreasing, heating is further continued, the current starts decreasing further. When this heating is continued up to 540 degrees Celsius, when this heating is continued up to 540 degrees Celsius, current flowing through the galvanometer becomes 0. So this is, of course, this is true about every thermocouple. I am talking about this thermocouple, copper and iron. We can do the same thing with this thermocouple also, but here this value of temperature, may be different. For this thermocouple, current through the galvanometer will be maximum if temperature of the hot junction is 270 degrees Celsius and this is 0 degrees Celsius. If this temperature is further increased, now the current starts decreasing. and the current in the galvanometer, the current shown by the galvanometer becomes 0 when temperature of the hot junction reaches to 540 degrees Celsius. Seebeck performed such experiments on various thermocouples. Other scientists coming Seebeck performed this experiment in 1823. Cumming did the same experiment in 1840, and Cumming, when he did the experiment with this thermocouple, found that when hot end is continuously heated, cold end is kept at 0 degrees Celsius, the current is really flowing through the galvanometer without any battery or cell in the circuit. The current is continuously rising. The current becomes maximum when the temperature of the hot end becomes 270 degrees Celsius. He called this temperature as neutral temperature. Cumming called this temperature as neutral temperature. He continued this heating and he found that when temperature goes beyond 270 degrees Celsius, the current in the galvanometer starts decreasing, and it comes to 0 when temperature of hot junction comes to 540 degrees Celsius. He called this temperature as temperature of inversion. This temperature is neutral temperature. This temperature is temperature of inversion. Cumming continued heating beyond 540 degrees Celsius. When he continued heating beyond 540 degrees Celsius, he found that current in the galvanometer reverses. When this temperature goes beyond 540 degrees Celsius, which Cumming called this temperature as temperature of inversion, the current in the galvanometer inverses. That is, current at the hot end will flow from iron to copper, reverse of this, and at the cold end current will flow from copper to iron. This current will be reversed. This current will be reversed when this temperature goes beyond 540 degrees Celsius. After this temperature at the hot junction, current is flowing from iron to copper, and at the cold junction current is flowing from copper to iron. The current flowing through such thermocouple due to difference of temperatures across the two junctions of the thermocouple, Cumming called this current as thermoelectric current. The current shown by the galvanometer in this experiment, and other such experiments, he called this current as thermoelectric current. He called this effect as Seebeck effect. Cumming called this effect as Seebeck effect. As current is flowing through the galvanometer, when the junctions are held at different temperatures, it means that certain EMF is generated in the circuit, because the current is flowing, as current is flowing, there may be certain potential difference, there may be certain EMF. The EMF generated in the thermocouple because of the two different temperatures at the two junctions, he called that EMF as thermo EMF. He called that EMF as thermo EMF, and he experimentally found that the thermo EMF is given by the formula E is equal to AT plus BT square, where T is the temperature and A and B are constants. The thermocouple generated in this experiment, which is responsible for flow of thermoelectric current, that thermocouple can be found by using this formula. E is equal to AT plus BT square. T is the temperature and A and B are constants. Cumming performed this experiment for various temperatures. He measured the thermo EMF generated and plotted a graph between temperature on x-axis and corresponding thermocouple on y-axis, and he got this type of nature. Temperature. Thermo EMF generated is taken on y-axis, the temperature is taken on x-axis. When temperature difference is 0, that is when this junction and this junction both are at 0 degrees Celsius, EMF generated is 0. There is no EMF, and therefore there is no current through the galvanometer. When heating is started at this junction, temperature increases. This temperature may be noted. The increase of temperature can be maintained through different steps, and corresponding EMF is calculated. This is done from 0 to 540 degrees Celsius. Temperature of this junction is held constant at 0 degrees Celsius. Temperature of this junction is increased from 0 to 540 degrees Celsius, and at every temperature EMF is found using that relation, and he drawn a graph between them. This is inverted, this is just parabolic graph. Nature of this graph is parabolic. This is corresponding to maximum thermo EMF, that is maximum thermoelectric current. This temperature is the neutral temperature, 270 degrees Celsius for this copper iron thermocouple. As we see, as temperature is increased from 0 to 270 degrees Celsius, the thermo EMF is rising continuously. It becomes maximum here. When further temperature is increased, thermo EMF starts decreasing. It comes to 0 when the temperature becomes 540 degrees Celsius. This temperature is temperature of inversion. Okay, this nature of the graph between thermo EMF on y-axis and temperature of the hot junction on x-axis is parabolic in nature. If this temperature is further increased, the current will reverse. It will flow in the opposite direction, which is shown by the galvanometer. This effect is known as Seebeck effect. One more thing. Neutral temperature is always constant for the given thermocouple. Neutral temperature is always constant for the given thermocouple. Temperature of inversion may not be constant for the given thermocouple. Neutral temperature is always constant for the given thermocouple, but temperature of inversion may not be constant for the given thermocouple. The value of temperature of inversion varies as value of this cold junction, value of temperature of this cold junction varies. Value of temperature of inversion varies as value of temperature of cold junction varies. Temperature of inversion will above neutral temperature by the amount with which temperature of cold junction is below the neutral temperature. The temperature of cold junction and temperature of inversion are equidistant from the neutral temperature. Neutral temperature is always constant for the given thermocouple. Temperature of inversion is not constant, it may change. Why it is changing? This is because if you change temperature of the cold junction, this temperature of inversion may vary. Temperature of inversion and temperature of the cold junction are equidistant from neutral temperature. For example, if theta n is neutral temperature of given thermocouple, theta 1 temperature of the cold junction, theta 2 temperature of inversion, then we should have theta n minus theta 1 is equal to theta 2 minus theta 1. This temperature difference is always equal to this temperature difference, meaning that the temperature by which the temperature of the cold junction is below the neutral temperature by certain amount, by the same amount, temperature of inversion will be above the neutral temperature. Therefore, this difference must be equal to this difference. If this is neutral temperature, this is temperature theta 1, this is temperature theta 2, then theta n minus theta 2, sorry, theta 2 minus theta n. This minus this must be equal to this minus this, that is theta 1 minus theta 1 should be equal to theta 2 minus theta n. Let us bring this theta minus n to this side, minus theta 1 to this side. So it will be theta n plus theta n, that is equal to theta 1 plus theta 2, or theta n is equal to theta 1 plus theta 2 whole divided by 2. So this is the relation between neutral temperature, temperature of inversion, and the temperature of cold junction. If any two of these are known, the third can be found very easily. Now, in figure 1 and in figure 2, we found that without any battery, without any cell, current is flowing through the galvanometer whenever the two junctions of the thermocouples are held at different temperatures. What is the reason behind this? Why the current is flowing through the galvanometer when the junctions are held at different temperatures? According to free electron theory of metals, every metal has large number of free electrons. The density of free electrons in different metals may be different. Density of free electrons in different metals may be different. But every metal has large number of free electrons. When we join these metals at one junction and at second junction, there is a potential difference between these two wires, between this metal and this metal. At this junction, there is a potential difference between this metal and this metal. At this junction also, there is a potential difference between this metal and this metal. Let us consider this thermocouple and see what is happening here. What is happening here? As we heat this junction 0 degrees Celsius onwards, the current is flowing from copper to iron. As current is flowing from copper to iron, there must be certain potential difference these two. There may be potential difference between this metal and this metal. Whenever there is a potential difference, current can flow. If there is no potential difference, if the potential is same everywhere, there is no flow of current. Current flow is due to flow of electrons. Electrons can flow always from low potential to high potential, negative potential to positive potential, and therefore current flows from high potential to low potential or positive potential to negative potential. It means that there should be certain potential difference between this metal and this metal, and therefore because of heating, current flows from copper to iron at the hot junction, current flows from iron to copper at the cold junction. Direction of potential difference in these two metals at the hot junction is different than direction of the potential difference between these two metals at cold junction. Because of this potential difference, because of existence of this potential difference between these two metals at the hot junction, between these two metals at the cold junction, current flows from one metal to other metal at this junction as well as this junction. the potential difference will become maximum at temperature 270 degrees Celsius, and therefore the current flowing is maximum. Electrons flowing from one metal to other will be maximum in number when the temperature is 270 degree Celsius. If we hit this junction beyond 270 degrees Celsius, we find that the current is decreasing. Current is decreasing, it means that potential difference between this metal and this metal is decreasing. As potential difference is decreasing, number of electrons flowing from low potential to high potential will decrease. As the number of electrons flowing per second from one metal to other metal decreasing continuously, because of continuous decrease of the potential difference between the two metals, the current starts decreasing. This current becomes zero at 540 degrees Celsius. It means that potential difference between these two metals at 540 degrees Celsius is zero. There is no potential difference at all. Potential of this metal is exactly equal to potential of this metal. There is no potential difference. The potential is at the same level, and therefore electrons cannot flow from this metal to this metal or this metal to this metal, and therefore at 540 degrees Celsius for this thermocouple the current becomes zero. So the reason for flow of current at the hot junction as well as at the cold junction is the existence of potential difference between the two metals. If this potential difference is large, current flowing will be large. If this potential difference is small, current flowing will be small. This potential difference is due to the thermal energy, and therefore this potential difference is known as thermo EMF. This is about Seebeck effect. It's so simple. It is just experiment. I have shown the circuit diagrams for these two experiments. I have explained each and every step needed here, and the graphical relation between the thermo EMF and corresponding temperature of the hot junction. Hope you got it. If you have any question, you may please ask your questions. Thank you.